We're told our whole lives that having a strong identity is the secret to success. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the very things that build you up are the same things holding you back? Today, we're going to dig into the idea of a fluid identity and how to break free from the beliefs that might be trapping you.
Right? I mean, you hear it constantly. Know who you are, build that strong sense of self. And yeah, it sounds like great advice. It's supposed to be your rock, your foundation. But what if it's incomplete? Or worse, what if a too strong identity is actually a cage? That's the paradox we're jumping into right now.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to start with something the source material calls the habit paradox. So think about it like this. Whenever you're trying to become something new, let's say you want to be a runner or a writer, what do? You build habits, right? You run every day. You write every day. You're basically collecting evidence for this new identity. But here's the twist. Once that identity gets locked in, it can turn into a cage. It can actually stop you from growing, from adapting. The very thing that got you here, well, it starts to work against you.
And this is where things can get really dangerous. This kind of rigid identity opens you up to something, a vulnerability. The source material has a name for it, the pride trap.
So what exactly is identity pride? Well, it's when you take an idea and you wrap it so tightly around who you are that any attack on that idea feels like an attack on you. And what happens then? We get defensive. We refuse to see our own blind spots. And just like that, bam, the door to real honest-to-goodness growth just slams shut.
And believe me, this is not some abstract philosophical thing. You see this everywhere. It's the teacher, right? The one who's been using the same lesson plans for 20 years. Or the manager who's completely stuck on their way of doing things. It's the surgeon who just dismisses what younger doctors are saying. Or that band that just keeps trying to make their first hit album over and over again. You see the pattern? The tighter we hold on, the more stuck we become.
Now, if you stay stuck in that pride trap for too long, something really dangerous starts to happen. Your identity doesn't just get rigid anymore, it becomes brittle. Which brings us to this piece of advice from the investor Paul Graham. And it sounds kind of weird at first. He says, keep your identity small. What on earth does that mean? Well, he's basically saying, whatever you do, don't let one single label define your entire existence. Because think about it, when you pour everything you are into one role, one belief, you become incredibly fragile. You're like glass. And if life comes along and takes that one thing away from you, and let's be honest, life has a way of doing that, it feels like you've lost, well, everything. You lose yourself. And the stakes here, they are incredibly high. I mean, think about the pro athlete when their career ends. The soldier after they've left the service, the CEO or the founder right after they sell their company. For years, maybe decades, their identity was just one word: athlete, soldier, CEO. And then it's gone. And they're left with this huge, terrifying question: who am I now?
Okay, that's a pretty scary thought, I know. But here's the good news. There is a really powerful way out of this. And it's not about having no identity at all. It's about learning how to redefine who you are. This is the secret to building that resilient, fluid identity we've been talking about. So here's the shift, and it's absolutely crucial. Instead of using a fixed label, you focus on the qualities underneath that label. So I'm an athlete becomes I'm the kind of person who is mentally tough and loves a physical challenge. I'm a great soldier turns into I'm someone who's disciplined, reliable, and works great in a team. You see the difference? The job title, the role, that can go away. But those qualities, they stick with you. You can take them anywhere. And that right there is the beauty of having a fluid identity. It's kind of like being water. It doesn't crash against changing circumstances. It just flows with them. It adapts. And that makes you so much more resilient to all the curveballs life is inevitably going to throw at you. And you know what's cool? This isn't some new age idea. This is actually ancient wisdom. It's rooted in a really deep philosophy about life itself. And it comes from Lao Tzu. Yeah, so the Tao Te Ching draws this incredibly stark line in the sand. It says anything that's stiff and inflexible, that's a disciple of death. But anything that's soft and can yield, now that is a disciple of life. And all leads to this one powerful, memorable line from Lao Tzu. The hard and stiff will be broken. The soft and supple will prevail. And listen, he's not just talking about trees getting knocked over in a storm. He's talking about us, about our identities, about what it takes to actually survive and thrive. Because here's the simple, hard truth. Life is constantly changing. Nothing stays the same. So the habits, the beliefs, the identity that got you to where you are right now, they are not guaranteed to get you where you want to go next. That means we have to stop and check in with ourselves every once in a while and just ask, hey, is this still working for me? And that right there, that question, it leads us to the antidote for this whole brittle identity problem. And it's not some big complicated secret. It's simple, but it is absolutely essential. It's reflection and review. A lack of self-awareness, that's the poison. And this is the cure. So I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. Take a real, honest look at the labels you give yourself, the beliefs you cling to the tightest, and ask yourself this one simple but incredibly powerful question. Is my identity serving me, or am I serving it?